Hello again everyone, Age of June here, and we are back casting another League of Legends game. As you can see here, again, it is mostly diamonds from last season with a couple golds and one unranked. It's got a few of the characters I like. Amumu! This used to be my main up until I decided to switch to Taric, and I have recently come to like Thresh as well. So, pretty much all of my mains are in this game on this one team. And, few characters I like on this one. I've played Nunu quite a bit. Played Kog'Maw a couple times in ranked, but really not very much, so it's fairly interesting to see the characters that I like. You do notice, let's see, Mumu's going to be jungling. It looks like Taric is actually going to be laning. He looks like he's going top. So after the recent Taric changes, he is actually viable top. I've seen him quite a bit in the jungle now as well because of it. So it'll be fairly interesting to see top. I have not actually seen him top since the changes. I saw a long time ago, I saw Sooner go top as Taric, but that was months ago, and even then he did it really well. He did really well, but at the same time he was smurfing at the time, so it's kind of hard to take anything seriously that happens when somebody's smurfing. Smurfing being he's playing a low-level character against lower-level people. Like, you know, I think he was silver at the time, and he was normally a platinum-level player, so yeah. So Mumu did go ahead and start blue, or, well, wolves and then blue, which is fairly normal. Mumu is completely destroyed without his blue. It looks like Zyra is actually AFK, which is really unfortunate for the blue team. Hopefully she'll come back soon, because otherwise this is not good for them at all. Thresh is with Varus bottom, so I'm going to go ahead and pair this up. Kog'Maw is going to be against Varus. Thresh is versus against Zyra. The junglers, Nunu and Taric are top. I like that. My two of my supports are now top. It's beautiful. Alright, Lux versus Kale mid, and gonna have Skarner versus Amumu in the jungle. Still really hoping, that was an interesting cue there. Still really hoping that Zyra comes back, because if not, then this is going to be a much less interesting game than I really hoped. If she does, it's possible it could end up being one of the turnaround games, as Kog'Maw is one of the hyper carries late game. Early game, he's not really all that impressive, but if he makes it to late game, and the blue team is able to protect him in team fights, he can completely destroy everything, because he's got a large range, he's got a lot of damage, and all in all, he's just a very strong champion, if he can make it that far. And with every minute that Zyra is not back, it becomes a whole lot less likely. Skarner is coming in for a gank, though, to try to help this. He is slowed by the Kog'Maw. No. Not sure what he was slowed by, actually. Oh, he was slowed by Varus there. Varus slowed him down with his E, I believe. Yep, Hail of Arrows, E. Very nice little, a decent escape. It's really not that great. It's nothing like Ezreal's E, which is incredible for escaping. Mumu is actually coming in from behind now, so Skarner is about to be in a lot of trouble. In comes the Mumu. He went in, landed his Q on the Kog'Maw. Kog'Maw's trying to escape. Skarner's trying to go ahead and take down the Varus. Varus does not go down, but Mumu's still going in on this Kog'Maw. And the Amumu is just going to go ahead and tank this tower. He does not actually end up continuing to tank it. Oh, wow! Thresh came in to tank it. Thresh is going to go down to Kog'Maw because of the fact that he tanked that tower. Amumu actually jumped out and then bandage tossed back in to get that kill. Very nice. And not too bad for Kog'Maw, as he did manage to get a kill out of it. But a lot of that was not really his doing. I mean, he did steer his Acacian surprise, but other than that, it was just the fact that Thresh ended up tanking the tower for so long that he took pretty much all of his life in damage. So, either way, that's great for Kog'Maw. Varus is 1-0-0, Kog'Maw is 1-1-0. The problem, as you can see here, is Kog'Maw currently has 8 CS versus Varus's 36. And this is one of the really big problems with not having a support on your team with you because he's just being zoned completely. There's really nothing he can do versus this Thresh Varus combo when he's alone. Amumu is now coming in up mid. He did not end up being able to pull this off. Lux was able to get back fast enough that she escaped with absolutely no problem. Taric, Nunu top, really nothing much happening there, but it looks like Amumu is coming in for a gank. There is no ward from the blue team, so Nunu has no idea. They're going in, and now in comes the Amumu. The Taric did land his stun, and now the Amumu landed his stun as well, but unfortunately for the Amumu, the Taric did not even go in at all, really. There's another stun from the Taric, and now the Amumu's going back in again. Nunu's trying to run away, and the Nunu is going to escape this time, I think. And now Zyra has disconnected. One would think she would have been disconnected already. Maybe she's having some sort of problem, or maybe she had to go. I really don't know. Hopefully she'll come back soon. Either way, even if she does, it's still going to put this team way behind because she is level 1, and they are level 6 and 5. Kog'Maw apparently was killed. When did he die? I didn't even notice. Okay, right there, apparently. So, he's getting pretty low there. I have a feeling that Thresh probably grabbed him out. No, he didn't grab him out. Varus actually used his long-range ability to just smash him. There's a ping back on the Lux, it looks like, but there's nobody there. This was warded, so Skarner was seen going back, but it really didn't matter. Nunu actually got really close to dying again there. He did have to flash out from this Taric. The Taric's actually low on mana, though, so he's not likely going to be doing too much to the Nunu. And the Nunu does have his consume, so he just ate a minion, and he's back up higher than he was before. Granted, he's still pretty low, but the Taric did end up having to go back because he had no mana. So what's he building? Chalice of Harmony. Okay, so he's building right now mana and some MLR, which is really good against the Snowball. The purple team's actually looking like they're going to go ahead and try to gank this Kog'Maw, and the Thresh, I believe, was seen by that, so the Kog'Maw is being super cautious, so he's not going to go farther until he knows it's safe. He did just see the Thresh there, so he knows it is safe. He's really hoping for 6, because as soon as he's 6, he can actually see us from range. I don't know that it's going to completely change things around, but it's going to make things a lot easier for him. He'll still have to dodge the Taric stun, or the Thresh grabs, as you saw there, but he is not going to be nearly as much trouble. It looks like Thresh is actually wanting to go for another turret dive. There's a ping on the Kog'Maw, but Varus is not really going in, and Kog'Maw is backing off enough that even if Varus did go in, he would have to catch him. So, looks like he is going to escape this one for now. But yet again, they are setting up for another turret dive. There is the Kog'Maw slow, so the Varus cannot actually catch him. There was the Thresh pull there. Didn't end up happening. Skarner actually just came in on Kayle. The Lux ult did end up missing because of the Kayle flash, but she does still end up going down to the Skarner Lux combo. Not bad there. Let me go ahead and take a look at that whole little gank there. Let's see, they're both full HP, so ended up bursting her down from the top. There we go. There is the Skarner grab. Lux really should have started her ulti a bit before that, and things might have gone a little different, but not overly much, because either way, Kayle died. Not bad. Taric, Nunu, it seems to be a fairly just calm lane. I mean, there's a little harass going on, but both of them have heals, and they're not really able to take each other down because they're both tanky. So, Nunu actually is getting a decent amount of harassing on that Taric, though. And Taric actually has not really been able to reciprocate yet. He did get a stun in, but unfortunately the stun landed after Nunu was outside of the range, and Nunu just went ahead and healed. There is the Nunu stun, or not stun, but ulti, and now Taric is trying to survive this, but he does end up going down. The Nunu did survive with a decent amount of health there. Not bad. Now Hafu, the support, has reconnected. Hopefully she has actually reconnected, but unfortunately she came back just in time to see Kog'Maw die again, it looks like. The Kog'Maw... Oh, the Kog'Maw did not get a kill. That was so close. He almost got a kill with his ulti there, but the Thresh did end up escaping that. Now the Now the Zyra is coming out. She is level 1, so she's got to be very cautious here. If she does end up coming to the tower, she's probably going to get destroyed before she can really do anything. Thresh is at the tower, and he did just pull that Varus to safety. That is a very nice ability by the Thresh. I really love that, the lantern there. I mean, people do forget to use it a lot, but when people do use it, it is a lifesaver. Throwing it over walls and pulling people to you, it just completely changes the game, because the person's almost dead, and then all of a sudden, now they're not. Here we go, she's level 2 now. So Kayle warding the jungle, doesn't want that gank to happen again. Probably a good idea. Mumu just going through the jungle. Taric and Nunu still just trading up here a bit. They're both back at full health, so Taric is alive again, and he's just farming. Ooh, did a decent amount of damage to the Nunu there, but the Nunu does have consume, and now the Nunu's going in on him. But the Taric just healed a lot of that damage, so he is back to about the same, but now the Nunu actually went ahead and used his Ice Ball and consumed, so he is back up ahead. The Kayle and Mummy are actually coming in for a gank down here. Zyra's about to get caught. She does end up missing her Q, but she does flash over the Mummy stun as well, so now she's trying to escape. I do believe she's going to make this. The Kayle did just land her slow on the Kog'Maw, but the Kog'Maw is going to escape as well. Lux is coming in, and there is the grab from Skarner on the Thresh. Thresh is invulnerable right now, and unfortunately Lux did miss her bind, so she does not go down. There is the Varus ulti, so down goes the Skarner in that Varus ulti. The Zyra goes down as well. Thresh goes down to Lux. Lux is about to go down. Yeah, she does go down to Varus, and it looks like Kog'Maw is actually going to escape out of this with his life, if just barely. But up top, the Taric actually turned the earlier battle around, and he was able to get a kill, so let's go ahead and take a look at that. Sorry about that, that was my Skype. So, let's see. He's at about half health, which is actually pretty impressive. This is where all the action down there happened. So I want to see what exactly Taric did, because he was getting pretty low there. So, there it is. Okay, he does use his ulti, and did a little bit of damage, but even still, it's not all that much. And Nunu's actually still pretty healthy. So there's the Taric heal, and there's his stun. He does shatter, stripping a little bit more armor, hits him. And, let's see. There's the consume though, so the Nunu goes back up. I really want to see what happens here, because there's all that happening down there. The Nunu is pretty low, so I guess that is part of it. And there we go. Okay, so he just went ahead and just turret dove him, and just took him down. So he does end up surviving that, and he does turn that little battle around. So I believe they are now 1-1. Yes, they both have 1, and they both have 1. One kill, 1 death. Not bad. But the purple team is pinging this dragon. Sorry, that is my Skype again, yes. Hopefully it will stop soon. Alright, so the purple team is going to go ahead and go in on this dragon. They did get this tower as well. So that's global gold for the purple team, and they're going to get a little bit more here. There's really nothing the blue team can do about it. Yes, it does get going there. Zyra is trying to farm herself up a little bit, get herself some XP, and Kog'Maw's trying to stay alive as well to get himself some farm and XP. Zyra's actually pushing the lane, oddly, which is not the best of ideas. But Kog'Maw is going to go ahead and get that CS. And now he's just going to farm here for CS, and Zyra is just going to sit here for XP, because she really needs it. She is, let's see, that is the support, so she is 3 levels behind the enemy support. Kog'Maw is actually pushing, so this is going to get pushed out. They did not end up locking the lane down. I think they really couldn't, actually, come to think of it, because there were too many blue minions, and the lane was pushing either way. So he's going to go ahead and get this farm. The Thresh is coming in for a gank. The Zyra saw him. She tried to land her stun on him, but she did not end up getting it. So now the blue team's going to go ahead and get the golems while it's not safe to get the farm. And Skarner's going to come up here for a gank. It's not warded, so Taric does not know what's happening. There's a Nunu. His Ice Ball actually does quite a bit of damage. He's just built the Spirit of Spectral Wrath, which is actually pretty interesting. Usually you only see the junglers go with that, but he actually went with it. Skarner did just flash in, And he's just holding that Taric in the Nunu ult for as long as possible. The Lux did come in as well, shielded the Skarner, and got an assist out of it. So the Nunu did get another kill. It was a very nice turret dive by them, and there was really nothing that Taric could do to avoid it. I mean, he ultied, he did everything he could, but he was being turret dived. He was under the turret the entire time, and the enemy team just came in and destroyed him. So Lux actually just came in the wrong direction there and allowed herself to them to know she was there. So Amumu just kind of grabbed her and punished her for that. She tried to just harass him off the turret, but that did not turn out well at all. But blue team did get a tower up top, so it's currently 1 for 1. Now it's 2 for 1 on towers, and the Nunu is going to go ahead and fall back. The Amumu actually just ultied that Skarner, so Skarner is getting really low. I think he might end up dying. He does go down to the Kale cube. And now Kog'Maw and Zyra are both at their inner tower here, and Zyra almost got pulled. She did dodge it, but the purple team is actually going to go ahead and take this tower unless Nunu can get there in time to save it, which I do not believe. Okay, it does happen. They probably could have stuck around to take the tower down, as he'd probably not actually be able to take them down, but doesn't end up happening. Amumu is pinging wildly for them to come and take this red, so the red does go to Varus. Very nice for Varus. Kog'Maw had to go back, so Zyra's actually in a very, very dangerous position here. It's 2 versus 1. Granted, she's at the tower, but we've already seen that the purple team has no problem with tower diving. We've seen bot lane even that they have tower dove at least twice. So they are going to go ahead and just let this push for a little bit. Kog'Maw is actually pushing himself, which is interesting. Usually if you're behind like this and your minions are over here, you do want to just allow the enemy team to push like crazy. Because if you're pushing that, then that means you're going to get in a dangerous position, which is exactly what's happening. You see this. They are actually setting up for a gank here. If he does come out with this, he is not. He's going to go ahead and take the golems, which is a great idea on his part. A lot of pings going on up here. I think Kale just got the red buff, yes. Now Skarner's going in, going to go ahead and just do a little push that Taric off the tower. Don't really want to lose another tower to the purple team. It's currently 2 to 1. 2 to 1. It's not lying to me. Yeah. Oh, there is the Varus ulti on Kog'Maw, but he did actually end up using Cleanse to get out of that, so not bad at all. He did escape that with no problem. And now Kale is coming down. She does get picked up by this ward, so they do know they have to be careful. Lux is coming down as well. The Kog'Maw did go ahead and just push her out, so now she's going to go ahead and go back against Lux. Pretty much all the interesting things have happened down bot this game, I've noticed. In comes the Kale. She does end up using the Lantern to get back to her, and now there's the Kog'Maw ulti coming in, just doing a bit of damage. Lux just got grabbed, but I think she's going to be okay with this. Yeah, she does end up being okay. Kog'Maw tried to land his ult to see the Thresh, but he did end up missing it, unfortunately. But it's got a really short cooldown, so that's no problem at all. It's just, use it too much and you end up with no mana. I want to watch both. Alright, so there is a bind from Lux. It does end up taking this Thresh, but the Thresh gets Kale ultied, so he survives. I hate that. Oh, man. She tried to use the Lux ult to take him down, but it did not end up happening. So down goes that tower. The Amumu also got the mid lane tower. I do not believe anything happened up here. I'm not sure what was going on there. Skarner did end up going back, I believe. Let's take a look at that. I don't think I had to go this far back, actually. Alright, so yeah, it looks like they were going in on the Taric, but he does end up flashing over the wall. That's what happened. He flashed over the wall to safety. Okay. So there it was. He was trying to go back. There's the Skarner drag, and he dragged him over there, and then he just says, nope, sorry, and gets out of that with no problem. And then that's where the turret is destroyed. So that's what happened with Taric. I was kind of wondering about that. I saw lots of pings, and there was interesting things happening to him, but he did end up escaping. Not bad at all by him. He did get shut down pretty hard up top, but the other lanes of his are very nicely coming along, so he is not far behind at all. I mean, he's still 2-2-0, tied with Nunu. He's a little bit behind in CS, but overall he's going to be ahead in gold because he's got 4 towers and a dragon. whereas the Nunu only has one tower. His, but it's still only one. So the Varus is actually going in and getting ganked by the Skarner. He is going to take him down. Now the Zyra is going in on him, trying to take him down, but he could take her down faster than she could take him down because he's the AD carry and he's fed. But Lux takes him down! Wow! That Lux laser just finished him off. The Zyra was dead, and now she is not because of that Lux laser. Not bad at all. The Amumu just got... No, the Nunu got tower dove here. He does go down to this. Yeah, there's really nothing he can do either. The Amumu did have to flash to get it, though, so that's not too bad at all. It was a flash for 1 kill. The tower is actually not going to be pressured because the minions are way back here. So this is the minion wave that's going to be going against that one. I believe these minions will get here right around the same time as these minions, so it's not going to take too much damage from minions. But the purple team is just going to go ahead and counter jungle the blue team. The blue team really doesn't have much they can do about it. They are coming down here to... The purple team, by the way, sorry, is coming down here to get the Kog'Maw. Actually, no, they're just going to go ahead and go to Dragon, which is a good idea. They know the blue team is mostly safe, and they really can't do too much, so they are going to go ahead and get this Dragon. You notice they did pull it out. That's always a good idea. It kind of prevents the enemy team from being able to grab it and snipe it quite as easily. It doesn't prevent it completely because they can still flash steal, but it does prevent, say, an Amumu or something like that from the enemy team just jumping over and stealing it. Or a Zyra Q from getting it. So the blue team does know they just got that dragon, so they know they've got to be somewhat careful. Tarek did just get caught there a little bit, but luckily for him, the Kog'Maw did miss his ult, and now they are all on the run because the entire purple team is coming for them, and they're going to have to be careful. Yet again, Zyra did miss her Q, unfortunately, so as did actually no, Lux did get it on Kale, but the Amumu is going in on this, and Nunu is top, so it is currently 4 versus 5, and the blue team is already behind, so they would lose this for sure if this did end up being a team battle. The Skarner did just get grabbed there, so he actually did escape, amazingly, thanks to a flash over the wall. And now the purple team is pinging Baron. Nunu is still just pushing top. He knows he's safe right now. For now. Although that's really not going to last much longer with the entire purple team coming up here. He's just going to go ahead and try to take down these minions and then go back would be my guess. He is running away. No, actually. He's going to go in on the... on the double golems, and now Mummy came over and found him, so he is going to go down. I'm not sure why he stuck around. It's not really the best of decisions on his part. He really should have just gone B. I guess he figured he wasn't going to be able to. That's the only thing I could think of. Maybe he figured he was going to die either way, so he might as well try to get at least something out of it. He didn't end up getting anything out of it, but he did try. But the blue team does have Baron warded now, so if the purple team does decide to go in on it... Oh, I didn't see that. Where is that? So if the purple team does decide to go in on it, they will know. So I don't know that they could stop it, especially right now with 4 versus 5, but they would at least be able to do some stuff. I mean, Baron himself does a lot of damage, so they might actually be able to stop it. We'd have to see. Kog'Maw actually did just get caught there. The Lux walked away, and I don't think he noticed. He's trying to take down the Kale, but she does use her ulti to escape that with no problem. The Lux also tried to laser her down as well, using that Acathian surprise, but Kale just ultied it, and she survived with no problem. It's a good attempt. I don't believe that the Kog'Maw knew the Varus was sitting right there, so he thought he was going to be able to take down that Kale with no problem, but he was unpleasantly surprised when out popped a Varus. A wild Varus has appeared, and it just killed him. So there's another tower for the purple team. They did get more global gold. They are currently 10,200 gold ahead, which is a very impressive lead. It's going to be pretty hard to lose that, and I've only seen Mummy have to ult once so far. I think he might have done it another time or two, but he's only really needed to the once. So we'll have to see. His ult is off of cooldown, so if they do end up getting in a team fight, which is the worst thing possible for the blue team right now, they really need to be avoiding team fights like the plague if they can. But if they do end up getting in a team fight, the Mummy ult can really turn things around, or make things swing more in the purple team's favor. in this case, because there's really no turning around. Kale's coming up here to go in on Nunu. She has her slow, but he has a slow as well, so he is going to escape this, I believe. He went ahead and just consumed a minion, and now he's walking off again. Goodbye. Don't care. But the rest of the purple team is coming up. This isn't warded, so Nunu doesn't know. And he does kind of expect it. Actually, he decided to wait there, which is not the best decision. He did get caught by the mummy's grab. Oh, and there's the ulti from the Amumu. And the grab by the Thresh as well. So he does end up going down to that. He really overstayed his welcome there. There's the Lux ulti trying to take them down. The Varus ulti came in as well. Just doing a lot of damage from both sides. Down goes the Zyra. No, she didn't die yet. Now she goes down. The Amumu just got ultied by the Kale. Lux did take down the Thresh. And the Taric ended up taking down the Kog'Maw. Came up from behind and just took her down. Or took him down. So that ended up being a 4-4-1. Which is not very good odds at all for the blue team. And now the purple team is just going to go ahead and go in on Dragon. The Amumu needs to make sure that he's not the one tanking it, because he's pretty low on life as it is. The Kale right now is probably the best to tank it, because she's got the most life. Although now that Taric's here, he definitely needs to be the one tanking it. It's alright. Either way, they did just get the Baron kill, and they are going to go back to safety. They are actually going to get this blue first, which is probably a good idea, because the rest of the blue team isn't, or the blue team is just coming up, and you know that they're not going to want to come out here and try to get this blue. Because if they do, they know it will probably result in a death. So Nunu's going to go ahead and push bot, which is probably a good idea. He's just split pushing here. He is going to go in on this tower as much as he can. I don't know if he's going to get it himself, but he does have a lot of minions on his side, so he's going to go in on it. He's going to do quite a bit of damage to it, but the purple team is coming to defend it. So he's just doing as much damage, trying to clear out these minions so that his minions will hit the tower as much as possible. Ooh, I did not notice that. What happened there? Well, we know that the Taric stuck around. I'm not sure why. He doesn't know it's warded. So he's there just sitting there waiting for somebody to come, and unfortunately for him, they did come. And everybody, 3 members of the blue team all came. He tried to escape using his stun, but that's not even going to happen. He tried to flash over the wall, not very well, and yeah, he went down to the Kog'Maw there. So there is a kill for Kog'Maw. That is the 8th kill for the blue team, not bad. And Nunu is still, we're back to Nunu, going in on this tower, but unfortunately for him, Varus did come to defend, so he's going to have to fall back. Varus is quite fed now. He is 6-1-5, so the Nunu is definitely not going to be able to fight that off as 2-5. And they're decently close in CS, but Varus still has more of that too. So either way, Varus has a lot more gold and a lot better items. So the Nunu definitely had to fall back. Mumu is just counter jungling here. It looks like he wanted to go ahead and take this red, which is not there, so no red for you. But the Nunu's actually still bottom, and it looks like he's still going to go ahead and push that tower. He's hoping that his team will be able to defend mid. Lux was going back there, which is a very dangerous spot to go back. That was probably not the best of idea for her to go that way. Okay, so she did end up dodging that Amumu ulti anyway, or not ulti, but stun. She did get hit by the Kale slow though, but oh, and she stuck around, which was not a good idea. She went down like crazy. The Amumu flash ultied her, and she just melted away. There's really nothing she can do. There is the Skarner ulti on Thresh, but he was ulted by the Kale, so he's not going to go down. The Zyra just went down to the Kale. Skarner is barely alive. He does go down to the Varus as well. Now the Nunu is here with the Kog'Maw trying to take down somebody. Anybody. They're not going to get anybody, though, it looks like. Kog'Maw can really do some harass with his ulti, but that's about it at the moment. So it's 2 versus 5, and those are not good odds at all. So the Kog'Maw's probably still just going to try to harass a little with his ulti, try to keep the minions off the tower, but he's not really going to be able to do too much at all. Down goes that tower. They are going to get this inhibitor as well, and they're probably going to keep trying to push, at least do a little bit of damage, but the rest of the blue team is coming back up, so they're going to have to be very careful. Granted, not overly careful because they are ridiculously fed. The blue team is actually focusing this Taric, which means that the rest of their team, the rest of the purple team, was actually able to focus the towers there with no problem. So down goes the Zyra again, and down goes the Nexus, and that is GG. Boom. Alright. Definitely not the best of games. It is a good example of what often happens in League of Legends, though. One person DCs, and if they DC at the wrong time, it just completely throws the rest of your game off. Because, especially for somebody like the support, really anybody, the only person who can at least somewhat safely DC is the jungler. You do miss out on a lot of pressure on lanes that way, but your lanes can play differently and more safely, and without being inhibited too much. But when it's a support that DCs, it just really knocks your game for a loop. So that was definitely unfortunate and not the best of games at all. But it was still fairly entertaining to watch, and it was entertaining to see the blue team still continue to struggle. So let's go ahead and take a look at the items here. We've got Varus with 194 CS to Kog'Maw's 96, which is a huge difference. But again, it's not really unexpected given the fact that Kog'Maw was completely shut down bottom. Varus also has 816 versus Kog'Maw's 251. Big difference there, but yeah. So the Varus has Infinity Edge, Blade of the Ruined King, big item on everybody now. Berserker's Greaves, Pickaxe, and a Doran's Blade, as well as a health potion, versus Kog'Maw's Blade of the Ruined King, again, big item on everybody. Zeal, Berserker's Greaves, and a Doran's Blade. Kale has 205 CS and is 718 to Lux's 173 and is 333. 333. So the Kale has Rabadon's Death Cap, Nashor's Tooth, Sorcerer's Shoes with the Home Guard enchant, and a Seeker's Arm Guard, as well as Crystalline Flask and a Sight Ward, versus Lux, who has Rabadon's as well, Morellonomicon, the Sorcerer's Shoes with no enchant, and a Doran's Ring, as well as a Health Potion. Taric is at 165 CS to Nunu's 165 CS. They actually tied there, but Nunu is 250 versus Taric's 333. Same score as Lux there. And Taric has Anthene's Unholy Grail, Spirit Visage, Needlessly Large Rod, and Sorcerer's Shoes, as well as a Crystalline Flask. Amusing that he didn't get any mana items. One thing about the Taric change is that he hits harder with more mana, so I would have thought he would have at least gone some mana, and if not, then armor, so that his shatter hits harder, but he didn't. Interesting. Anyway, the Nunu has Spirit of the Spectral Wrath, which, as I noted earlier, was interesting. Glacial Shroud, that is a really good one for Taric. I really think he should have gone with that. That would have helped him with his damage a lot. Mercury's Treads, Chalice of Harmony, and a Doran's Ring. The Amumu with 131 CS and 506 versus Skarner 121 with 164. The Amumu has Randuin's Omen, Spirit of the Ancient Golem, Boots of Mobility, no enchant, Negatron Cloak, and a Ruby Crystal versus Skarner with Spirit of the Elder Lizard, Mercury's Treads with the Home Guard enchant, Kindle Gem, and a Negatron Cloak. Let me just take a look at something here. Yeah, that's what I thought. The Thresh at 17 CS versus Zyra's 9. Big difference there's in the levels though, 9 to 13. Huge. 0314 versus 044. Ouch. Thresh has Runic Bulwark, Ninja Tabby, Chain Vest, Philosopher's Stone, and Doran's Shield versus Zyra with a Ruby Sight Stone, Kindle Gem, Cage's Lucky Pick, Philosopher's Stone, and a Boots of Speed. So there we go. That is the end of this game. I hope you guys enjoyed it, even if it did end up being somewhat of a flub due to the fact that it was 2-on-1 down here. Not usually as fun to watch. But even still, the game was fairly amusing, and I hope you guys enjoyed it. Thank you, and I shall see you guys next time. Have a good night. Bye.